Well, hi, good afternoon, happy Saturday to you. This is probably going to be the topic of this week's weekly blur, which I'm getting it was originally a daily blur, then it turned into a semi-annual blur, and then like biannual. Anyway, I want to get better about doing that. But today's topic, this is not the easiest thing for some people to talk about, and I've been up a couple of hours, and I've had a couple of really interesting feeds come across my Facebook, and then I was actually looking at TikTok earlier because I feel young. Anyway, I'm kidding. I was looking at videos, but I was looking at videos, and one of the videos that came across on TikTok is by a healthcare professional, and I'm assuming he's a nurse in an ER because I think the title of it was tips for the ER or something like that, and he proceeds to say something along the lines of it. I watched it several times because it actually just disgusted me. He's making a point about what happens to you if you go to the ER and say that you want to hurt yourself. He's like, trust me, we're going to believe you, and we're going to take everything away from you, and talks about stripping you down and taking any of your items, and even the bra, for women. And it's like, and he uses, I'm not going to say the word here because it's not appropriate, but it's MF, mother, you figured that one out. And he's saying that to the people watching the video, and like, if you come here, MF, we're going to do this, because if you MFs do this, we're going to, at the end of the message, he says, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and trust me, it's all going to get better. So here's the issue I have with that. He's apparently not ever been in that situation and himself, which is great, but I'm sure in the ER, in the medical field, he's probably known quite a few people, either personally and obviously as patients, who are in that mode and do want to hurt themselves. And sending a message like that out, it's just wrong. There's some things that need to be spoken and dealt with a little bit more eloquence, and dignity for the people that are suffering that, because there are people who are in that mode, and one thing about being in that mode, you cannot absorb helpful information. You're not listening to people. You just want to end it. You just want to get rid of the pain. So having someone that you're seeing that's in scrubs talk like that and say how you're going to be treated, there are many people who suffer through that particular situation who would see that video and maybe contemplating hurting themselves, who would be like, I don't want to deal with somebody like that, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. There's a phrase that I learned a long time ago, and I learned it because I used to sink myself in flame wars, is what we called them at the beginning of the internet's time. I would argue with people, and vehemently and horribly, and it made me look bad, and it was a bad situation. So the phrase is that just because you can say something doesn't mean that you necessarily should say something. And when you're dealing with something like mental health and people feeling suicidal, as a health provider of any kind, there should be some training that I'm sure he's received that would prevent posting something like that, because it's irresponsible. That's what my point is. It's irresponsible for a medical person to be on any platform where they're going to be able to talk like that and call people that name, any name, and make them feel like crap, regardless of their situation. And he even acknowledges at the end of the conversation that even though it's impossible for you to hear this right now, he's right. That's the only thing in the entire video that he was right about, because when somebody's in that situation and they're in that mode, they cannot hear reason and logic and common sense. And he should know that. Therefore, his video it's for him. It's not any help to anybody else. And it's on TikTok, and it's probably pretty easy to find. I think it's had like 3 million views, and I'm sure, I would hope that someone has complained about it at this point, because it is really wrong. And, sorry, I've got my own history there, and I'm going to defend anyone who was ever in that spot. because unless you've been in it, you don't know what it's like, and you need to have some sensitivity, especially if you're working in the medical field. Now, with that said, I realize that the medical field has been under tremendous stress for the last year and a half with COVID. It's not a license to offend others that need to be able to depend on people like that. I'm 56. I could bleed out. Anyway, have a great weekend. I am going to be working in the yard all day today and restructuring the pool area because I don't know. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend. And since that's what this whole topic has been about, if you are in that position and you're thinking of ending it or you're hurting yourself or whatever, please reach out to there's suicide prevention hotlines. Everything. Those people are wonderful. They're trained to help you, not make you feel like crap about yourself. And just know that, it is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And just hang on, hold on for one more day, like Wilson Phillips says, and be there, because there are people that love you. There are people that care about you. And don't let people like that insensitive jerk on TikTok who's trying to get, numbers for his, account and his posting. Don't let people like that dissuade you from reaching out for help. Reaching out for help is the strongest step of strength for yourself that you'll ever show, and you'll be here a year from now or 2 years from now or 10 years from now to talk about it and to help somebody else. So there you go. Have a good Labor Day. Bye. Boop.